are at the brink of things. Can you guys feel this? No longer are we the strange group, man. It's the rest of the world that's tripping. Am I right? I'm so humbled to introduce Corey. I've done this a lot over the last year, introducing Corey and David, and you guys all know that, so yeah, here I am, no big deal. But you know what? Everybody wave at me right now. That's for Corey, all right?
They identified me through standardized testing originally. Come to find out that my family has been a part of a multi-generational experiment as well. Going back to World War II, when my grandfather took part in Operation White Coat. So, yeah, this was something that I was sort of born into that I found out about more recently. We flew right through the wall and then popped out in a cavern, an ice cavern similar to where I had been taken before. Where we landed, it was probably a football field away. They were hard at work excavating, using pressurized steam to dig through the snow and expose some of the structures. There were all types of bodies that were laying out from these pre-Adamites and their genetic experiments. There was even one, it was a male about close to 5 foot tall, shorter, and he was in the fetal position, and he had a tail. Okay. Lunar Operation Command, you notice it's shaped like a swastika. When I first went in around the 1987 period, when I saw it, it still looked like this. When I was separated, after I left, when I was coming to get debriefed, they had purposely built around it to break up the look of the swastika, so it no longer looks like a swastika. The Cabal is not a single group that cannot be defeated. It is a group of loosely knit, materialistic syndicates. They're just criminal syndicate groups. That's all they are. They want us to build them up as an all-powerful force that cannot be defeated. That's part of the mind control. And as y'all are seeing, it looks like their time is done. It's becoming so obvious. And we're utilizing our co-creative consciousness to overcome a lot of this mind control. The technology isn't working the way it used to because of the change in vibration and the raising of our consciousness. They've already lost.
Hi, Corey. I want to say thank you for everything you've done and for risking your life.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Every single one of us, we have to stop looking for something to come from the sky and change everything. Those of us that are going through this change, that are awakened, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that are going to fix this and change this. No one's going to come in and do it for us. We've helped contribute to the problem. We're going to have to contribute to the solution.
A comic book that comes out 2 years after this breaks into the news called UFO Flying Saucers issue number 2 actually did a comic treatment of this. Here's the cover of the magazine, and Gold Key Comics, they're the ones that used to do the Donald Duck. My father used to take me to the newsstand every Sunday. I'd buy these Gold Key Comics all the time.
Our graphic novel's going to look way better than that.
Okay, fair enough. This is a historical document, though, bro. You got to appreciate that. And sure enough, what we see here is UFOs on the moon. And then, sure enough, we have this guy here, And he says, my colleagues and I believe that they may be some kind of obelisk, completely different from anything else on the moon's surface. So that's a very interesting thing. There's all this stuff going on, including back in 1958. Now remember, the NASA frame of that face that I showed you, that didn't show up until 1976. This is 1958. What the heck is this? Come on. How do you possibly maintain a skeptical opinion in the face of evidence like this? A 1958 comic that is called The Face on Mars, in which the actual shape and structure of the face itself, other than the fact that it's tilted up straight instead of lying flat, it looks frickin' identical almost to the actual face on Mars. And then the whole story is, I talk about this in Ascension Mysteries, my new book. It's all about this ancient race that warred and blew up their planet. They talk about the asteroid belt being the remnants of this exploded planet. So this was the first of the images that Corey came up with. This is a line art illustration of the original concept art for his new graphic novel, which is now this. And this is a big new thing. So Corey, what do you want to say about the Sphere Being Alliance?
I was approached by Tier Air, and he stated that we're doing really good work, but when it comes down to it, we're preaching to the choir. We need to reach outside of the esoteric community, if you want to call it that, and begin to plant seeds of this information into other communities. You know, the sci-fi community, the graphic novel community, all of these people, they have a lot of crossover with this community. Their minds are primed for the seed to be, they have fertile minds ready for the seed to be planted. And from the beginning, Tier Air told me it doesn't matter, or when I would tell him no one's going to believe me, he would tell me it's of no consequence. And I would shake my head. It's a little bit of a consequence to me, but you know, and the fact that we've done all these episodes of Cosmic Disclosure to back up my information, and people are wondering why now I'm sharing it in a sci-fi sort of format, and it is to spread this information, especially the Blue Avian message, to the masses as much as possible.
All right.
This is a rendition of the craft that we arrived in. It
arrived where?
To the Mars facility.
Okay.
So it looked a little bit different than that, but that's the one where I described being taken with Gonzalez and one of the ICC bigwigs, and we went to a Mars facility to do an inspection. And the inspection was for them to prove to us that they weren't using slave labor, but they wanted to take us to several bases that were known about, and we had intel about a base that we weren't supposed to know about, and we asked to go there, and we verified that slave labor.
And that's what we have here. So this is you sitting inside the ship, correct? And
yes.
Looking at a map of Mars?
Yes. It's like a big screen smart glass pad.
And I remember you telling me that the ICC representative who's trying to come up clean with your Secret Space Program Alliance folks, who now seem to have the upper hand, thanks to the Blue Avians, which we'll get into that in a minute, they said, hey, yeah, just go to any one of these bases on this map. And then what did Gonzalez end up saying?
All of a sudden, new points on the map started showing up, and he said, we want to go there. And it turned out that one of the defectors from one of the secret space programs that joined the SSP Alliance was from there. Now, what I hadn't told about that situation in the past, if people remember, we were going to bring back a family with us for them to be interviewed. This family was this guy's family, this defector's family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That I did not know. What are we seeing now?
This is a rendition of how I described, and we flew down into, it looked like almost an ancient river system, curving sort of, I guess, mountains. And then we flew right in to an opening in a mountain that is somewhat similar to this. And then that's when we landed our craft and were escorted into the facility where we began our tour.
And don't forget that as we're live streaming this, all of this video feed is going directly into the live stream computer. So you're going to see versions of these slides on the live stream that you can order that are going to look a lot better than what we're seeing on the screen here. So just bear that in mind.
This is the Dart, what I sometimes accidentally call a Dodge Dart. But it fits 2 crew in the front, and then in the back there are 3 seats. Not a lot of room for cargo. It's just a transport. This was what was sent to my backyard to pick me up, to take me to several different places, but on this occasion to the Lunar Operation Command.
We're going to talk about what the SSP Alliance is about. So let's do that really briefly. These guys are not wanting to keep this all secret from us, right? This meeting that you got brought to wasn't about keeping secrecy. It was about disclosure.
Absolutely. The mandate of the SSP Alliance has been, it is time to disseminate all of these advanced technologies, but disseminate it in a way to where all of humanity is exposed to it at the same time, not just a small group of privileged. This is their mandate. They want full disclosure. The SSP Alliance is probably the only group out there right now that's still rooting for full disclosure.
And I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it.
Comic books have been used going back to World War II as far as a way of disseminating information. The images, the combination of simple text with images, it's very much like an infographic. It lands and it plants those seeds in the subconscious. What we're going to play for you tonight is the launch of the trailer here for Sphere Being Alliance, Return of the Guardians. Welcome, everyone. Enjoy the evening.
What is their message?
Their message for humanity is that we need to become more loving, we need to become forgiving of ourselves and forgiving of others. We need to focus on becoming more service to others on a daily basis. And we need to focus on raising our vibration and our consciousness.
This is it. We're done. Thank you so much. Full disclosure now. That's what we want. Conscious Life Expo. This is it.